I'm gonna use a randomizer and I'm gonna let it decide which packs I'm allowed to use in this Sims build. I have done this before, and sometimes I get really lucky and I get packs that just already work really well together. And other times I felt like I got really unlucky and I got packs that just did not match at all. Think like city living and the country kitchen kit. Like they just don't really have any furniture styles or even color swatches in common. And James actually has a really handy tool for this where you can select which packs you have, and you can also set how many you want it to randomize for you. So I'm gonna make it randomize us 3 today, and I'm just gonna hit generate and see what happens. Okay. Jungle Adventure, Seasons, and Vintage Glamour stuff. I don't really know about Vintage Glamour with this, but I think that Jungle Adventure and Seasons could actually work pretty well together. And Jungle Adventure has a kitchen set, so that's gonna be huge. I feel like when I've struggled with these the most in the past, it's when the packs do not have a kitchen set or like don't have a bed or something, because having to use the base game ones really drags it down sometimes if you've got like a really cool idea and just nothing in the base game that matches it. So I feel like we're gonna be okay. I am concerned about how we're gonna incorporate Vintage Glamour into this because it just does not match like at all. But I want to go look at some of the items and just see. Okay, so Vintage Glamour, I don't know, maybe like the globe bar could work in this space. I'm thinking possibly some of the decorative stuff, like these items, we could try and fit in. I just don't see how some of these like fancy, glamorous, mirrored things might work, but we could probably try this if it's got any fun colors, maybe the mirror. Also, honestly, maybe the divider. I don't really ever use the dividers in this game. I feel like I need to make more of an effort. And maybe the curtains, because these do have some kind of bright colors too. Like this hot pink kind of matches some of the stuff from Jungle Adventure. Okay, and like this rug and these flowers, I think that stuff will be doable. And I'm not really worried about Seasons, because I really like a lot of the Seasons furniture. Also, it being an expansion pack, like it just has a lot of stuff that we can pull from, so that should be helpful. And I feel like maybe the main theme of the build should be this Jungle Adventure set, because it's what has the kitchen stuff. So we can use mostly Jungle Adventure and then try and squeeze in some things from the other 2 packs as well, and like let this determine the color scheme. I also feel like we should probably do it in Oasis Springs and not in New Crest. I don't think that New Crest is really gonna work for this. I don't really know how big I want to make it either, but I guess we can just experiment with it and like see what comes of it. Okay, so after brainstorming for a little bit, I decided to build it on a 20 by 15 lot and actually decided to make it into a tiny house with the tiny living pack settings. And to be completely honest with you, the main inspiration behind that was just to give me an excuse to use as little of Vintage Glamour stuff as possible, because I was really worried about trying to make all of that match. Actually, the first thing I did was go through and pick out some items from that pack that I thought I might want to use, and I just put them in the back corner so that I wouldn't forget about them. And then I started thinking about the layout of the house. As you can see, it's pretty small and it's not actually gonna end up really being that tiny of a house. I didn't want to get super stuck with like tile count and everything, but I wanted to have that small house interior and then a bunch of patio space surrounding it. Kind of the main inspiration for that was actually the fireplace from Jungle Adventure, because I never used that outdoor fireplace and I thought it would be kind of cool to try and find a way to fit it in. And then I kind of wanted to have a functional rooftop on the second floor, partially because Jungle Adventure has some kind of cool staircases that I could try and use, but also because I think that it's a nice way to use up that space without having it count as additional tiles, because the game does not see that as a room. It still thinks it's only 99 tiles right now, despite me adding the half walls up there. So it's kind of like a sneaky little second floor, and then we can have a lot of like table space and maybe a grill, you know, that kind of hangout stuff upstairs. And then the interior can be mainly focused on things that kind of have to be inside, like the bedroom and the kitchen appliances that would break in the rain and, you know, that kind of stuff. I also really tried to use some color swatches that I don't normally go for, kind of starting with this orange wallpaper around the whole exterior. I'm not really the biggest fan of orange. It's never really been my thing. Like, I'm just not super into orange in general. So I don't really tend to use those swatches, but I was really trying to make it happen here. So we have that like orange stucco on the fireplace with a matching orange stucco on the wallpaper. We also have my favorite tiles in the whole game from Jungle Adventure, those really beautiful like terracotta tiles everywhere. And then I started trying to experiment a bit bit with different colors of windows that we could use. And I thought that this blue one was really, really nice when it was paired with the orange. So I used the blue swatch of the windows. I put some fun jungle adventure greenery hanging off of the walls. And we're not by any means done with the exterior yet. I think at this point I was kind of just trying to visualize if this even fit and like if this actually worked or not. So I kind of just threw together the front a tiny bit, and then we're gonna come back and work on it some more afterward. Inside, it has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, and honestly, I think a pretty decent sized living area considering. Like the kitchen is actually kind of huge considering how small the actual space that we have is. I was kind of going back and forth with where I should put the kitchen and where the couch should go and like how I wanted to lay out the rest of the space because it is a little bit of a weird shape. I also decided eventually to put an archway instead of a door into the bathroom because I wanted to try something different. So I used just a base game arch and then I put curtains around it. I think that your Sims will still not get embarrassed or anything. Like they aren't gonna feel like they're in an open room using the bathroom, but it does seem a bit odd when you think about it a little bit more realistically. At first also, I was thinking about putting, and this is really bad, but I was thinking about putting the toilet directly in front of the archway. And then I was like, no, you know what? That doesn't make any sense. And so I switched it around and the sink is right there, which is fine. And then the toilet and the shower are more off to the corner. Also, you might be noticing that I'm incorporating some tiny living into this room. That was not my original plan, but we kind of were talking about it because I did this on stream, actually. I mean, as we were talking about it with the community, we sort of came to the conclusion that it might be fun for us to include tiny living too, just because we wanted to include the gameplay of the tiny house stuff. So I used like the tiny living toilet and the tiny living shelf inside of this room. So this maybe is me cheating a little bit, I don't know, but I did decide to try and sneak some of those in. Also, I made sure that I used some really colorful swatches of the Jungle Adventure appliances. I never use those, and I probably should do it more because it's kind of fun to have like a bright blue fridge, but I just don't really think about them enough. And so I just don't normally do it, but I did that here and I tried to match the backsplash to it. So we kind of had some fun extra blue accents. In the living room, we have our first pull from Vintage Glamour. The rug is from that stuff pack. And then I also used the globe bar kind of in like the dining area. We've got a few things from Seasons already. Like I have some Seasons lights. I think I put even one on the wall inside, like a little orange wall sconce. I wasn't sure about this idea, but you can see I have that big Jungle Adventure cabinet. And then I switched the rug. That's a Seasons rug. I really will do anything to not use Vintage Glamour, huh? Anyway, sorry. But I put that big cabinet in there that we have from Jungle Adventure, and then I put the TV inside of it. So I had to kind of raise it up and size it down and stuff, but I thought that looked pretty cool. I also have this little wooden block side table and a bright orange lamp. We have some nice ceiling lights. And then this big square room that is kind of left unfurnished right now, that's gonna end up becoming a dining area. I was trying to think about possibly wanting to incorporate some gameplay from every single one of the packs that we selected. So that's why I put that archaeologist table outside. I wanted to make sure that we included one of those vanity tables too, because I felt like that was kind of the main gameplay from Vintage Glamour. Although the globe bar counts as well, because the globe bar is a bar, but it's not the same as like a full bar. You can't make as many drinks as you could on a regular, like one of the base game bars, but your sim can grab drinks out of that. And I feel like Seasons gameplay is everything. Like everything that you do in the game is Seasons gameplay, because it's gonna rain, it's gonna be hot outside, the weather's gonna change, the seasons will change. So I don't really feel like I need to incorporate anything special from Seasons for it to be a Seasons house. It's mostly just the furniture from that pack. Okay, also me using this dining table on that porch, this consistently bothers me. Can you believe that we don't have just like a plain square wooden table in the base game? There's one that has glass. There's this one that has the runner. Why isn't there just a wood square table? We have a rectangle one. I feel like it's not too much to ask to just want a plain square. The other wooden square table in the base game, it has like planks that it's made out of. I just want solid wood, plain little table in a bunch of wood colors. I feel like that would work so nicely and be helpful for so many builds, and yet we just do not have one. But outside you can see I'm putting some extra plants and stuff. I put a little couch bench thing in front of the fireplace. We have the extra dining table out there. I was loving putting all of these plants on the walls too. I do not use those Jungle Adventure wall decor things enough. They're really, really nice with the ivy hanging down. I think maybe the reason I don't use them that much is because they're kind of big. So I tend to find them hard to fit into places. houses, but it was perfect for in here, so I wanted to use that. I ended up using that round table in here, which is maybe a little bit too big. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I really like that Jungle Adventure table, so I was really trying to make it happen. I also have just like some plain base game artwork. We've got a Jungle Adventure rug in here. I also tried out putting some things like a mirror on the wall to make it look bigger, but the mirror's like a little bit too big. And then I was thinking about some of the curtains from Vintage Glamour, but they were really dragging me down. I didn't like them that much. I did use the mirror from Vintage Glamour because it's got that really pretty gold swatch, and I was using at this point quite a bit of gold because we had like gold in the ceiling lights. I wish that we had gold in the kitchen. Like I kind of wish that the handles on all the cabinets were golden, but they're not, and it's okay. I think mixing metals is kind of chic. It's like kind of popular, but I just would love to have gold. I think gold with this stove would look so pretty. I think that color would go really well together, but it's fine. It's fine. It all matches just fine. But yeah, a lot of storage, really big kitchen considering how tiny the house is. So I was pretty pleased with how all of that turned out. I was looking at trying to use some more of the Jungle Adventure wallpapers. Really felt unsure about those. Like I really kind of went back and forth a lot on the color scheme of them. I don't even know if I settled on that color in the end or not. I can't remember. This is what I get. I always do the wallpaper last because I'm so indecisive about wallpapers, and I like leave it till the end because it stresses me out and I don't want to have to choose. And then I get to the end and I feel even more stressed. So I just keep making it worse for myself. But anyway, I did that there, obviously. And I'm actively doing it again in this bedroom. But in the bedroom, I used the Vintage Glamour vanity table. I've got a little Seasons cabinet in here. I had to shove the bed in the corner, unfortunately, which I didn't super love, but it works really well back there still. I'm looking at that lamp and I'm feeling really annoyed at myself because it's clipping into the table. And I remember doing that on purpose. Like, it was an intentional decision. I'm not super thrilled about it now. Looking back, I kind of wish that I hadn't done that. That lamp is so annoying. I'll show you once I do the tour. You just can't slot that lamp anywhere. It doesn't want to go anywhere. But we're kind of upstairs now, starting to think about this rooftop space. At first, I really wanted to try and have a hot tub in here, but I think it was just too big and too tall, and it like looked kind of weird on the roof, so I didn't end up keeping it. I wish that we had a base game hot tub that didn't have the roof above it, because if it was just a plain hot tub without all that, I think it would look really nice up here, but I think having the canopy above it just made it look a little bit off. Like, it didn't really match anything. And of course, none of these 3 packs have hot tubs. I think Seasons could have had a hot tub. Now that they've been adding hot tubs into other random packs, and like we have the base game one and stuff, I understand back in the day they were trying to keep it special for Perfect Patio, but it's simply not anymore. So they really should just give me more of them. I could really use some more variants. At this point, I was actually looking through the gallery trying to see if we could find some fully grown plants, because I wanted to put a few little potted plants upstairs on that rooftop area, kind of like a rooftop garden sort of vibe. So I got like some plantain trees. I think I tried to use a bunch of the ones that come in Jungle Adventure. I think there's also an avocado tree from Jungle Adventure, and then I just put some like, you know, various herbs and like tomatoes and things like that. I think this also kind of fits for that Seasons gameplay as well, because these plants will only be in season occasionally. And you know what? In hindsight, I definitely did not need to be using Tiny Living in here. Like, I used it in the bathroom pretty much only. And I think that's just because I decided I wanted it to be a small house. And so I felt like I should incorporate something if I was gonna upload it to the gallery as a tiny house, but it didn't need to be. It did not need to be. If you don't have Tiny Living, this house will be totally functional still. Don't even worry about it. The last things we're doing right now are just adding in a little bit more landscaping, mostly using the Jungle Adventure debug landscaping, of course, because there's so many nice trees. I think really this is a Jungle Adventure build with a couple of other things kind of snuck in there, but I'm glad that we did it because I love building with Jungle Adventure. I really should play with it more and do gameplay with it more, but I just don't do it enough. This kind of like has re-inspired me a little bit, so let me know if you want to see a Jungle Adventure playthrough. I feel like I tried to do one of those on YouTube once, and I think my sim died in the first episode, which isn't that abnormal for me. Like, that just happened in my Get Famous series too. Which I didn't mean for it to. That was purely just unlucky. But it seems like that's always happening to me. But I really have not played with Jungle Adventure in ages, so I'd be open to doing that again. I also tucked in like a little tiny round pool right off that back porch. I thought that looked really interesting. I've never really done that before, and I feel like it was kind of a nice little added detail. There isn't a pool ladder or anything like that, but you don't need one, it's fine. And that's the whole build. It was kind of a quick one because I sped it up, you know? We're not done yet. I wanna pop back into the game and give you that finished product tour. I know it's hard to see when I'm like spinning the camera around so much, so I wanna show you it a little bit more close up. If you're looking for it on the gallery, it's called Jungle Adventure Tiny Home, but tiny home is all one word because I was out of characters. It's 42,000, almost 43,000 simoleons, which honestly is like way too expensive. It should not be that pricey and be this small, but I got a little bit carried away. 143 items have been removed. No. Why did it say that? Why did it give me that pop-up? It doesn't look like my items have been removed. Oh, that's so weird. Okay, well, anyway, this is what it looks like from the outside. I think it's so lush and like tropical looking out here. It's kind of funny to picture it being in the desert, but it's okay. It looks cool with the rocks back behind it. So in the front, we have this outdoor porch space. Honestly, I probably could have gotten rid of it being an actual floor because in the beginning I had it raised up and then I changed my mind. Now it's like this and it's counting as tiles, which it doesn't really need to, but I wanted it to be rounded. I think the round fencing really makes it, so I kept it this way. Here's some of the landscaping that we have around the side. Here's this little back porch area with the pool, and we have this archaeology table. Lots of just plants everywhere. Is there no trash can? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I didn't put a trash can outside. Oh, how did I manage that? Wow, that's really bad. If I were you and I was gonna play here, I would put a trash can maybe like right there and I would just pretend that it was there the whole time, okay? Sorry. I really don't know how that happened. Anyway, so when you come inside, here's like a top-down overview of the ground floor. We've got this cool angled dining table with some artwork on the walls. I've got fish up here. We have that Vintage Glamour globe bar. This is a mirror from Vintage Glamour. In here we have a Seasons rug and a Seasons side table and then some various Jungle Adventure furniture pieces. This lamp is floating. Don't worry about it. This is from Vintage Glamour. I put this little book item right here. Also, the TV is there, kind of tucked into this cabinet. Here we have the kitchen. Only this counter is available for cooking. The other two have stuff on them, but I think it's okay. I think it's nice to have. This is the bathroom. I got to use a lot of Jungle Adventure in here as well. All of the tile and like the shower and this little sinker from Jungle Adventure. But I also managed to sneak in some Vintage Glamour like lotions and also a Vintage Glamour mirror, which miraculously I think looks so good with this sink. It might be kind of weird that I have two mirrors in here because I also have the big one, but I wanted to have some place where there was a full-length mirror because your Sims can like check their outfit in them. I mean, you don't really need one. I'm projecting a lot of my real life feelings onto it in there, so that's why I have that. This is the bedroom. Same thing, there's no door here, but I think that's kind of cool that it's an archway. I also think that in a tiny space, it's fine. They've got their bed here and the vanity table. This is what was really bothering me. So this lamp does not want to slot onto anything. This is not technically a side table. I think it's actually one of those hallway tables, and so this lamp doesn't slot to it properly despite them being from the same pack. And so you can't really get it to the right height at all. There's not really any way to do it. Even the ways that I normally would, like where I would put one of these things and then raise it up, this lamp doesn't slot to pretty much anything. So it's a real pain, but I think maybe it looks okay lower. It just, you can't see the base of it. I wasn't sure if it was better to have the base be floating or have it look like it doesn't have that base and this part is the base. I don't know. It's really not that big of a deal. It just bothers me a lot, so I think about it a lot. But then when you go upstairs, we have this little staircase right here. Right now it has no railing. So here's my problem. This is gonna really date the video because technically speaking, yes, I built this house in July. Let's not worry about that too much. Some of us are doing a month-long charity fundraiser right now and haven't had as much time to build in The Sims as normal. So I'm like going into the backlogs right now. But when I originally built this, we didn't have the stair railing update. I guess that's the wrong color. We didn't have it where I could change it to not have the rail on both sides. And so I was so annoyed by the railing clipping into the house that I just got rid of it completely. But I think now that we have it, I feel more confident with putting it back. Although I'm still a little bit unsure about this. I don't know. So that's why I just didn't have a railing. I kept telling my chat, I was like, no, don't worry about it. Just pretend that there's one right here. Yes, maybe it's a safety hazard. Don't worry too much. But upstairs we have that garden that I was telling you about. This one is the plantain tree. This one has avocados. I also put in a strawberry. There's black beans, tomatoes, a flower from Seasons, and also an orchid. And then this is a flower arranging table. I put that so we could have a little bit more of the Seasons gameplay, and it kind of tucks really nicely into this weird bump out, so it fits pretty well. And that, my friends, is the finished randomized packs tiny home. I hope that you had fun watching this one. This one was really fun for me to build. I like doing this kind of challenge because I feel like it pushes me a little bit out of my comfort zone, and it also encourages me to use items that I maybe wouldn't have otherwise, and it also has me putting things together that I wouldn't have otherwise. Like for example, this discovery with the mirror and the sink, I feel like that's huge. I've never thought about putting those together, and it works really nicely. And honestly, also like the globe bar and Jungle Adventure, I feel like those really look good together too. So it's fun to try things that I wouldn't normally. Let me know if you want me to do this again. We can definitely do a much bigger house build next time. Don't worry. This time I've just been a little bit stressed because I've been streaming like 3 times as much as normal and also uploading daily, or at least trying to. I know I didn't upload on Thursday, so bear with me right now. And also, if you want to come by and support the fundraiser, I'm again streaming every single day, a lot of the time more than once a day on Twitch this month, and we're getting pretty close to $200,000 raised for St. Jude this year, which is absolutely incredible because we're only about a week in. And I also have some really fun things planned for this month. This week on stream, I'm calling it Spirit Week, and I'm kind of theming it sort of like how, you know, in school you have like homecoming week and everybody's got different dress up days throughout the week. I'm doing that, but on my Twitch stream. So like I'm gonna have costumes and like weird hats and, you know, various things happening on stream this week. I don't know, I just thought it would be like a fun little surprise. So I'm gonna be doing that. If you pop into my stream and I'm wearing a hot dog costume, just don't worry about it. I have perfectly good reasons for it. But with that, I'm gonna wrap the video up right here, and I am going to catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. I guess it wouldn't even be that abnormal for me to show up on stream in a hot dog costume at this point. It's like probably just expected, but I do always feel a little bit silly about it.